listening to Mixed Results Pot Tots with Nick and Kevin, rolling dice, flipping cards, and diving deep into your favorite stories. Hey!
And welcome to the Mixed Results Podcast. I am Kevin with Mixed Gaming 190 and my co-host
Nick with unexpectedresultsmtg, and our guest today.
Hey y'all, my name's Mark, otherwise known as Swagnar here on TikTok.
Hey, there he is, Mark. It's gonna be really hard to call you Mark. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
right.
Swagnar.
Right. It's funny. We on Discord and everything. I couldn't swoop up Swagnar, so I had to use something else. And I have a buddy who my wife and I have met in person throughout, and he's like, it's so weird calling you by your first name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And it's the same. It's the same for me too, because his name is David, but then his online name is Green. So we've called him Green so many times.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever like Demi. Like Demi will always be Demi to me, even though I know his real name, and it is Kevin, just like Kevin, and so it's easy to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But it will always be Demi to me.
Right. Or like Domo or Against the Grain.
Yep.
Digi.
Well, Digi.
Yeah, Digi.
Yep.
Well, Mark, how old are you and where are you from?
I am 37 and I am from Michigan. I'm southeast Metro Detroit.
Okay.
We were talking about it a little bit before we go live. We went live. I'm sorry that you're dealing with all that smoke, and everybody up in the North Midwest area, I am sorry that you're dealing with that.
Things. Yeah, it was nuts. It's getting better like throughout the day, but I think at one point the air quality was sitting at like 400 or something, and it's like the highest it can get before it's like just it can't even get any worse as 500 for the however they measure it.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, this is horrible.
And does this usually happen in the summertime, or is it a rare situation right now?
It's sadly it's starting to become more and more less of a rarity.
Yeah.
Between the way they reforest in Canada, the certain pines they use, and because of climate change and everything else, there's a few factors that play into it. Now wildfires are getting a little more popular or a little more common up there.
Yeah. Hey, fires are going everywhere right now. That's crazy.
Everywhere. It's becoming more of a regular thing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, down here in California, especially in like where it hits like super in the residential areas, it's because we get through droughts and then we don't clear like dry brush, and then we don't have these emergency situations in place for a spark of a wildfire to grow in the exponential way that they have been. So especially with the high winds that happen too, it's insane.
Utah, I think it's been just a lot of dumb people with fireworks and just making fires and stuff like that. It's gotten so bad, and it at least where we're in the Midvale in Salt Lake area, it's a bowl. So like you got your mountains on one side and then mountains on the other side, and so all that smoke just sits there until like a storm comes by, and we get a lot of smog.
Clears it out.
Yeah, it clears it out, but it'll get a lot of smog too. But there was one time where it was so smoky because of the fires that it looked like an apocalypse. Like the sun was making everything orange. It was cool to see, but also very trippy.
Yeah.
So
it's like, oh, this is cool. Oh wait, this is why it's
yeah.
Yeah, nobody, when I had the fire go through my town, like it was like 6-7 years ago or whatever it was, I would have to like walk down to my brother's house maybe a quarter mile down the road.
Mhm.
And it was just, I'm covered in ash by the time that I get to my brother's house. I have to, do the whole t-shirt, thing to cover up my head and make sure I'm not breathing in ash. But yeah, it is apocalyptic eras
Yeah.
with those wildfires.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, Swagnar, in Michigan, how was life growing up? Siblings, what activities you do as a kid?
It was pretty fun. I grew up. So I was born in '89. Grew up in the mid '90s. I have a sister who was a little bit younger than me. She was born in '92.
Mhm.
So it was fun outside. Just being outside until the streetlights came home. Playing with the neighbor kids, and then we lived like 2 blocks away from the school, so we would walk back and forth
Mhm.
to school. Things like that. Just everything was
Simple.
everything just seemed better. Yeah, everything was more simple. We didn't have bills, so we didn't understand
Yeah.
the blight of
Yeah.
the world.
But like walking to school, I had my sister, and she was just about a year and a half older than me. She still is. But we used to walk to school together too, and it was fun, I guess, as a kid. Now thinking about back onto it and how some kids are raised now and just the environments, it's very different.
Yeah, exactly. Having the fact that helicopter parents have to exist because of the world today
Hmm.
just makes it like, man, that just it sucks to have to raise your kids like that.
I had the similar kind of situation growing up where I was basically within walking distance of all my schools. I
Hmm.
didn't really do elementary school that much. I did it a couple times when I was in like fifth grade, but my middle school and my high school was 2 blocks in either direction.
Nice.
And
Mm.
so, like, for high school, I would have morning basketball practice. So I'd wake up before my parents and I'd have to walk to basketball practice.
Hmm.
So that's just something kids don't do nowadays is like
Oh right.
walk to places. It's like, no, I don't see that happening. I just see all these kids on these e-bikes now, just ripping it up
Or
everywhere.
those scooters.
We don't have the scooters here. Like, is it a
Oh, you guys
huge
don't?
like problem with kids on like on e-bikes everywhere causing chaos in your town?
Not in mine, but I think closer into Detroit. But we because Detroit is a little more heavily dense. I think that's why they use the scooters and not so much of the e-bikes.
Got
They
it.
have
Yeah.
both.
We have kids on like those motorcycle looking like the
Mm,
Surons and stuff like that. There's usually like
yeah.
five always parked out the McDonald's right down the street from my house. Just and especially now since it's summer and kids aren't out, they're
Hmm.
just constantly going down my street
Yeah.
yelling, doing wheelies. They do the chicken with the car, where they're driving at the car and
Oh
pull
my
Oh,
away last
gosh.
minute. So
that's
stupid.
that part's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that part's crazy. But I remember like back when we were young, it was just we were being stupid on our bikes, but not like that. We were just running off of plywood jumps that we had just built with
Hmm.
a couple of 4x4s and some plywood
Yep. Dude, I got
and
so excited.
hopes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, and putting it together with hopes and dreams,
Yep.
essentially hoping that it's gonna stay together.
Hmm. I remember I was super excited. I got a playing card and put it on the back wheel to make it sound like a motorcycle as I was riding it. Yeah, dude, I thought it was so cool.
Did you ever
Oh,
did you
you
ever
never.
crush the pop can too,
Yeah, yeah, you crush it and then put it on the back.
and then put it right there on the back wheel?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you never made the upgrade to the can on the back
Mhm.
tire. That was the ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, good old days.
Speaking of, this isn't a question on there, but it kind of made me think of a time we're talking about doing silly things as kids. What's like one of like the silly, stupidest things you remember doing like as a kid growing up? You're like, man, that was a dumb idea.
So, like I said before, when I used to live with my dad down in Tennessee, and we lived, it so next to us was a soy field that also held cattle, and I would jump over the metal gate and just jump back and forth over it, just because it was exercise. But I would always get so close that it would annoy the bulls, and so it would get to the point to where the last time was, I am running. If I don't make this jump, this bull is gonna plow me over this gate, and something's gonna hurt at the end of it.
Oh,
And we did it repeatedly. And my cousin who lived down there as well, had a pellet gun. The ones
Mm-hmm.
that he would like pump up, and we
Mhm.
would stand at the street while they were like 100 yards away, trying to see if we can get it to hit. And we would see it ripple through the soy field. And we're like, we just gotta raise up more and more. We gotta raise up a little bit more. And then you would see it ripple on a cow one time, and then that was it. You're not getting a second attempt, because that's just gonna piss them off even more.
you don't want to mess with the wildlife, man. You
No.
don't want to mess with the
No.
bovine, man.
There's a reason. There's a reason why there's the saying: you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
There you go.
Nick,
Kevin, do you have a memory?
yeah, I kind of have two. I have a lot, I guess, but two that's come to mind. I had a garage in my house that was like 12 feet up, 15 feet up, and my friends and I thought it'd be cool to just jump off of it, and like you tuck and roll, And so my friends did it, and they jumped off, tucked and rolled. I went to jump off, I forgot to roll, tuck and roll, and so my legs were straight up when I landed, and dude, it killed.
Mm.
It hurt so bad. That was dumb. But then,
Was it one of those hits where you lose your breath? You can't. You
oh
forget
yeah,
how to breathe,
I
essentially?
completely fell down. Like I could not stand up at all. My legs were numb. They hurt. But then, like an hour later, it kind of wore off. It was fine.
You're back to it.
Yeah. Second was my friend, he had access to a car, and I held onto the back of the truck, and I was on my skateboard. And he ran it through the church parking lot. I wanted to stop, but didn't think, and I let go. And I didn't think about, like, I saw the ground. I was like, okay, I'm not going that fast. And so I step off, and dude, I just tumbled. I was going way too fast than I thought. It was rough. And then my skateboard eventually just kept creeping down to his truck, and he accidentally ran it over. So it was like one of those, I fell off, lost control, and it just went right under the wheel. But yeah, I have a lot of stupid friends. That was fun. What about you, Nick?
I have one that was like a really, really bad, dumb idea, but we only did it once. But the one that we did several times until the last time was we used to take our BMX bike and then take my buddy's big wheel and tie a rope to it and just ride it as fast as we can through the neighborhoods and whip it around the corners. And several times we would hit the curb and flip off it and tumble into the grass and then onto the sidewalk, or you would run into the wheel of a parked car, maybe you put a little dent in it and go apologize to the neighbor. But one time where I'm on the BMX bike, my buddy's on the big wheel, and I'm hauling down the street, and all of a sudden a car's coming, and my buddy's like, car, and I get up onto the curb, right? Go up a driveway, up onto the curb, and then I look behind me, and my buddy is not on the curb. He is still in the street. There is then a fire hydrant that catches the rope and completely puts us to a halt. We both go head over the handlebars. I fully go back into a tree, like head down. So like I front flip over my handlebars and just slam into my back into a tree. My buddy flips over his handlebars and just gets really bad road rash. And yeah, that was the last time we did that.
Yeah.
That was the last time we did that one. Another time, you guys know like the backstops they use at like middle schools for like kickball and whatnot, the metal like fences that are like half cages.
Yep.
Well, for some reason, our middle school would put them down. So like the open part would be face down. But then they had like the, the heavy part that would stick up to like keep it balanced when it's up. Well, my friend goes, "Hey, I'm going to grab onto the top of this. You guys push the other end down so I fly up to the top." And I was with my brother and his friends, my older brother and his friends. So we had like a group of, 5 or 6 people. My buddy grabs on, we push this down. It goes flying up. He goes flying into the fence, loses his grip, and just falls flat on his back from the top of a backstop and loses. So yeah, that was a one and done experience.
Well, you gotta learn somehow.
Yeah, you got to find out somehow.
Yeah.
It's funny because my buddy had a kid at a young age, and like his kid would be climbing on a stool or something, and he'd be like, "Yep, you're gonna get hurt. I'm not gonna stop you because the only way you're gonna learn is when you fall. You know not to do it again." I was like, "No wonder you did so much stupid things growing up. You had to learn that it was wrong."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Guaranteed there was somebody's father telling us that what we were doing was a stupid idea. We didn't hear. We were deaf to those people.
Yep.
All right. That's funny.
Well, Mark,
Stupid 90s kids not having those experiences anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what they're doing now. Well, Mark, getting into some of your content, when did you start making content and why did you start?
So technically I started back around just last year around January. I was transitioning between jobs, and I had time saved up between when I was starting my new job and when I had ended my last. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna be at my computer anyway. Let me start a Twitch account, and I'll just stream Twitch while playing games. And
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Hopefully, we're able to finish this out without any more. Everybody, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yep.
You. As many times as I've seen this, I should have expected these results. No, that's the whole point. It's forever unexpected. Well, before we left off and lost track, we were talking about when you started making content and why'd you start making content.
Yep.
So I started making content originally around January, February of last year, and I was in between jobs, and I was at home while I was waiting for my next job to start, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be home already. I'm just gonna be on my computer playing video games. Might as well load up Twitch and just live stream for whoever watches. And that was fun. It lasted. Once I started my job, I started waning back on it. I would stream just every so often. And then when I got into Magic the Gathering, I started watching TikToks, and I was watching people shoot these 1 pack a day challenge and they would do it till whenever. And so I was like, hey, I can do that. I can buy a booster box, and I can open 1 pack every day, and I can shoot a video every day until whenever. And then I set the goal for myself. I was like, I am not gonna stop until I open 365 packs on this channel. And I knew it wasn't gonna be consistent. I knew it wasn't gonna be every single day, but it was gonna be more consistent than what I was doing. Because originally it was, oh, this is funny, or oh, this, no, oh, nobody can get through, can put these 4 or 6 dots together. How are they not? How are they not doing? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, this can be something where I can make myself more consistent to where I'm posting every single day. And then it was I can I have I can do memes. I can post one meme a day plus one pack opening a day, and then now I've got 2 videos every single day for as long as because I've got a wife, I've got 2 kids, I've got a dog, 3 cats, a partridge in a pear tree. I mean, so obviously obviously life happens and things get in the way, and you can never expect everything. But what's the worst that can happen? Well, now I know my wallet is crying about it, but at the same time, I get all this shiny cardboard in return. So
Hell yeah. What was your inspiration for your username?
so um, being a Norse pagan, you read through the tales of Ragnar Lothbrok, and I wanted to do something to that extent. And back back in the day, my friends would call me Hollywood because I would the area I grew up in here in Metro Detroit is very Hispanic heavy. So I always had a fitted hat on. I always had before I had my prescription glasses, I always had Lokes sunglasses
Okay.
on, and I was a mechanic, so I was always already in Dickies, wearing Dickies,
Mhm.
and I wear Forces or Chucks or what have you. But I am just whiter than white, ginger beard. Uh, so they would just call me Hollywood, and I knew I wanted to bring something into Norse paganism, and I was like, well, what if I can be just like a swaggy Ragnar Lothbrok? And then my wife was like, so you're just gonna be what, Swagnar? And I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do. So
Hell yeah.
you know what? I like the way you think.
That's awesome. And you're actually not our first North
Mhm.
pagan on the podcast, which is awesome
Yeah,
to
true.
hear. What kind of brought you to North paganism? We've heard a little bit about Daba's experience and how it's influenced his life. It's not on here, but mind just giving us a little tidbit on that?
Yeah, so growing up, especially living in the South, I was raised fairly Baptist. My parents were never very pushy regarding religion, but we went down the Christianity path, and I always had that feeling that something was missing, that I was missing some kind of connection, and we live not too far from where Michigan has their Renaissance Festival,
Mm.
and my wife and I go. We try to go every year. We can't always make it, but we went the first year, and we just met everybody at the fair, at the festival, and it was just like we're home. We're with our group of people, and one of the people that we were talking to while we were there, was he was dressed like a Viking. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and he and everything, and we're talking, and I'm like, well, what, how else do you uh project yourself like this in the real world? And he goes, oh, well, I'm a Norse pagan, and I go, what's that? And he hands me, well, he doesn't hand me, he sends me a link for the an online Havamal, and he goes, here, read this, and just see what see what you think about it at the end, and then and do whatever. So I read it, and I read the Havamal, and then I went to the Prose Edda, the Poetic Edda, and I'm like, man, this is uh, it just like feels, it's like essentially one of the first rules is just don't be a dick, don't be a garbage human being, and don't bother anybody else. Nobody else will bother you. Just be an all around good person, and life is good. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can get with these foundations. This I don't have to pray to some or wish to some sky daddy for my for to not stub my toe in the morning. I can just live my life, and as long as I'm not just a insatiable clown, then I know I'm a good person. I just enjoyed that so much, and we just rolled with it ever since.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great story. And how long has that been?
Oh, that's been going for, I want to say 6, 7 years now.
Very
Nice.
cool.
I love it.
What would you say to someone, or what would you recommend to someone who is interested in discovering more about Norse paganism?
I would say the first thing is I kind of read them a little bit backwards. I wouldn't have started with the Havamal if I knew what I knew.
Hmm.
I would have started with the Prose Edda or the Poetic Edda. So it's very, or even like book. Uh, I don't like shouting it out a lot because of the person, but I can't deny Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology is just a good book. It reads all of the stories and all of essentially what was Norse paganism, just a bunch of Northlanders telling stories by the fire, under the stars, and it's all just a good starting point. Reading the stories that were told, and then getting into from there, just maybe even getting into getting your runes read for you or things like that. Just branching out from there. Once you get a good foundation, and a good grasp on it, then don't be afraid to branch out.
And go follow Daba 9494 for his daily rune readings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's really cool that 20 or 21 interviews in, and we have two people from I would say a rather smaller community. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Mark, what do you do outside of content?
Outside of content, I work. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I like to take my kids fishing when we can.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'm just your typical family man. Keep 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 track of the house. Make sure the car is running. This Sunday, I'm actually having to work on our car and mow the lawn, things like that. I like to grill. Uh, Usually I'm not the one that is the smoked meat, but I do like smoking meat.
That's good.
um, all around thing like I miss it though. We used to have and a Jeep Wrangler, and I I don't know. Those are just the funniest things to me. Working on cars and especially Jeeps because it's just so versatile. They've got so many different packages that you can bolt on or upgrade to. Um, that they can fit every flavor, and enjoying other people's uh perspective on what they wanted to do with things like that.
And you get rubber duckies.
And you get rubber duckies. Um,
Can't forget the rubber
I,
duckies.
I've debated heavily on getting a 3D printer just so I could 3D print rubber duckies for any time I see a Jeep. Or my wife said we should do turtles too, because I guess people who drive Toyotas are doing the Toyota turtle now.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, you could 3D print a little turtle with the Toyota logo right there on the shell.
That's cool. Wow.
So basically, other than magic, you're spending your time fishing, hanging out with the family, and if you could be working on cars and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and we do some game. My wife and I will play video games with our group of friends almost every day.
Nice.
Very cool.
The only time I'm not on my computer after work is Wednesdays and Saturdays, and that's Commander nights at the LGS. So shout out Black Market. Unexpected results. I know you know Black Market from MTG Rules Daddy, who
Yeah.
I so when I saw him do your video, me and him were literally ships in the night. We did not know, neither one of us knew that we went to the same LGS until that video. And I'm like, dude, how have we not seen each other before? And he was like, well, when do you go to the pre-releases? I'm like, I go to the pre-release. I try to go every Saturday. And he goes, I'm always there on Fridays. And it's like, well, do you go to the Commander night? He goes, yeah, I go to Commander night, but I'm there pretty early until around 5 or 6. And I'm like, I don't get off work until 5. So that's so literally I think he's like, we must have passed each other once, at least once, through the parking lot.
100%.
Mhm.
100%. That's hilarious. Like ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
Love it.
What sparked your passion for all things gaming and nerdy?
Honestly, it started when I want to say 12 or 13, when the Lord of the Rings came out, and my stepfather and I were sitting there watching it, and he had read the books originally, and I wasn't at the time. I was 13. I wasn't a big reader. You know, I was if it didn't have a picture of a female or an engine diagram, I was not looking at it. And so we're sitting there watching it on TV once, and I'm like, well, so what is going on here? Why is this person acting wanting this ring so bad, and why is this person why is he the only one that can carry it? And who are these people? They're humans, but they're not humans, or they're elves, or why is there a flying eagle now? And my stepfather pauses the movie, and he goes, hold on. And he goes into his room, and he comes out with 4 books, and he puts the 3 on the shelf, and he hands me the Hobbit, and he goes, we're not finishing this movie until you finish this book. And I'm like, well, we're not I guess we're not finishing this movie. But so I was like, all right. And so I go into my room, and I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, I might as well just pick up this book. What's the worst that can happen? My eyes aren't going to fall out of my head. And I had gotten through, I want to say it was like 7 chapters before I had looked up and then realized it was like 3:30 in the morning, and I was only about to get like 3 hours of sleep before I had to go to school in the morning. So I was like, oh, I should probably put this down, and so I bookmarked it, and I put it in my backpack, and I don't remember what else I learned in school until I finished that book. And then and then afterwards I gave it back to my stepdad, and he goes, what did you think? And I was like, this is amazing. That story was amazing. I loved every little bit of it, between the back and forth between Bilbo and Gollum, and just Gandalf essentially tricking Bilbo into throwing this massive party at his house, to the very end, where they kind of even loop the story back around, where they start with the giants that turn into stone. And I don't know why I'm like, I don't want to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
where they start with the giants that turn into stone, they stash the giants treasure, and they say, "Oh, we'll be back for this." They go and do the whole journey, and then at the end of the story, make sure that they actually do go back to that treasure, and they do unbury the treasure and collect it. And just from every point, like I was telling unexpected results, even to the point where Tolkien was saying that he had written so much of the book that he didn't realize that they were still at the mountain pass, and he was like, I need to be I can't remember the name of the town. He's like, I need to be in this town by the next chapter. What am I going to do? And then he's like, eagles. Eagles come in and they ride on the eagles to the next town.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Tolkien had actually created the map, not even for the book, but beforehand.
Really?
He created the whole map. Yeah, he did everything artistically. He wrote drew every from the cover, the maps, every photo that you see, um, in between the chapters. He drew all of those.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, and he was a dungeon master before dungeon masters were a thing. I'm telling you. The
Oh,
the
he
D and
a
D
lot of
the
his
worlds
work
he
is a
the
lot of
worlds
the
he would
work
have
from
built.
D&D is from there.
Yeah, exactly. The worlds he would have built. Oh, would have brought a tear to our eye. But
Well, I don't know. Like you were saying, I think a lot of times these guys, these authors, I mean, we all know about Game of Thrones and how that's never coming to an end because they've just created such a massive world that
yep,
they'll never be able to manage it within a book. We've
yeah,
been so, grateful for all the work that Tolkien's put out, but everybody needs to remember like this is the downside of being, a great author and world builder. It's like sometimes you just can't put it all into paper.
yeah, exactly. And you're never, as an author, you're never finished. You're always
Mhm.
gonna look back at it and go, if I tweak this one little bit of the storyline, I can build a whole new world.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to look back and you're gonna build one bridge to a whole nother realm.
Zach Hickok from Attempt to Cast just posted a video not too long ago. He just reread his first book, Wraithburn, Worn by Power,
Hmm.
and he said there's so many things I would have changed reading back on
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
He's like it kind of pissed me off. He's like everybody tells me how good it is. He's like, I would have changed this, I would have
Yeah.
changed that.
Yeah, it's like they say, you are your strongest critic.
Hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mark, you say you try to play video games every day, besides
Hmm.
the Commander Night. What are your top 3 favorite video games?
Ooh, top three. So for nostalgia reasons, my first two have to be Halo and Gears of War.
Okay.
Have to be staples in my raising. Tied for second would have to also be Need for Speed Underground.
Mm,
Need for Speed Underground
yeah.
2 specifically. Between the customizations, the soundtrack, the maps, everything just for 13-year-old me, it hit every tism for me. It scratched every itch.
Yeah.
Nowadays though, I don't get into anything like big or um like name brand, if you will. Like I know there's gonna be an open world Lord of the Rings game coming out, and
Not know that.
from what I hear, it's going to rival Skyrim.
Really?
That's the word on the street. I haven't seen a pixel yet, but of the like indie-ish games. So
back. Oh,
I can't see your guys' face, but I can't see your guys' face, but
This is
I
really
see him.
oh my gosh.
I see him.
Okay,
He's shaking
okay,
his
okay,
head.
okay, okay. I can see you guys now. We're good, I think.
All right.
All right, we're back. We're back.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
All
So,
right.
yeah, I was,
What you're playing right now, I think that's where we're at.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
so like things like that, like TCG Card Simulator, we've put a lot of time in uh, lockdown protocol, where it's very like Among Us,
Okay.
and there's however many dissidents, and the goal is to, if you're a dissident, to kill everybody before they get tasks done, and if you're not, if you're they call an employee, then you got to get all the tasks done before the dissidents can kill you. But you can the weaponry is scattered throughout the map, so it doesn't matter if you're an employee or a dissident. You can pick up the weapon, and you can protect yourself from the dissident. I think they did that a lot better than than Among Us did.
I just watched Peanut play that the other day,
What the
and it
Lockdown.
looked like a really good game, but they didn't make it look like a good game because they didn't do the tutorial, so they
Oh,
had no
okay.
idea what they're doing. And Peanut's freaking out, and he's like, "Why can't I ever get a weapon?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that, and then we've been dabbling in the Mecha Chameleon,
Mecha Chameleon.
but it is only good if you can even like somewhat, if you can somewhat get a color together, then it's fun.
So for those who are artistically challenged, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, what
It's a little bit of a you better find somewhere that's very low traffic and a single color.
yeah, one color. That's it. All the shade and the black spots. The darkness.
Swagnar, what is your most vivid video game memory? What is like one thing growing up or even nowadays that just sticks in your head as like a key video game moment for you?
So there's two that I have that come to the forefront of my mind. The first is sitting in my room on my bunk bed at, I can't even remember, 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there, young as can be, playing Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis. I don't know how many times. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many times I went back to the whole same level, just going through as far as you could on a Saturday night. The second would have to be going to my buddy's house to play Spiral, the dragon.
Yeah.
Do you see it's coming back?
Mm-hmm.
I saw, yeah, they're remastering it, right?
I think it's a whole new game.
I thought it was a new game.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. I heard about it coming back. I thought it was going to be a remaster though.
That and not Crash Bandicoot. Jack and Dex.
Jack and Dax.
Yeah, they're getting a whole new game.
Yeah, they're bringing old games back.
Yeah.
It's that nostalgia. Everybody's feeling that nostalgia, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Other than that, probably I would have to say also Super Mario World on the Game Boy Color. Sitting in class with the volume all the way down after reading was done, and just trying to get as far as you could before the next period.
You know what was so funny is like I was addicted to Pokemon on the Game Boy Color when that came out. Like you couldn't get me off it when I was home from school. Yes, the originals, the red and blue version. But I don't have like a memory of me trying to take it to school at all ever.
Really?
But you know what I did do? is in high school, me and my buddies got an urge to play them, and we busted those things out in high school our junior year, and all of our teachers thought we were on our phones and we were playing Pokemon.
When
It
I
was
got a
great.
Game Boy, I got the one of the original Game Boy Colors, and
Oh, lucky.
I went to a private school at the time, which they didn't allow any kind of electronic, and we were too young for phones at that time too, but I'm pretty sure that school had to call my father a good 5 or 6 times a month because it was he your son brought the Game Boy back to school today, and you have to come and grab it, or because we're not giving it back to him.
No, they wouldn't just take it or like hold on to it until end of school.
So they would take it and hold on to it till end of school, but they wouldn't give it back to me. My father had to come pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it had gotten to that point.
Wow.
The first few times they definitely were like, "All right, now you can have it back. Put it back in your backpack. Don't bring it back tomorrow." But
You know.
Obviously, this
Yeah.
isn't getting through his head, and his parents aren't
Also,
finding out about it at home.
so my
now
dad
we
was
have
like,
to
"Well,
put it.
why?" Yeah, my dad was like, "Why do you keep bringing it? They're obviously going to take it away from you every day." I'm like, "I just try and bring it so I can play it at lunch."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I understand that, but they're not going to let you." And I'm like, "I'm going to try."
I gotta try. You could sneak it off.
Yeah.
Why do they have to bother me in the far corner? I'm just sitting there by myself.
I'm reading.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, do I want to hit? Do I want to run? Do I want?
You're just like boing boing, running away.
Yeah.
Well, stepping out of stepping out of video games and going into a little bit of Magic. When did you start playing Magic exactly?
So I officially started playing Magic around right before in between that between Final Fantasy and when Edge of Eternities came out.
Okay.
My wife and I had gotten a Foundations starter kit from an LGS, and so we unboxed it, got unwrapped a couple of the packs, figured out how to play, and we're playing together back and forth, and it was very I think this is what you do. I think this is how we watched videos. So it's like, okay, you need a land, you need to play the land, and then you can tap the land, and if you can only tap, you have to tap this many lands to be able to play this card. And I know you can't play that if it's a creature, you can't play it until you can't do whatever until the next turnaround. But and then it was like, well, this says instant. This doesn't say creature. When do we get to play this? I don't know. But this says sorcery. What's going on? And it stemmed from that to we went to pick up more cards, and we're like, oh, we'll just pick up more from Foundations, and then we can just add to it, and then maybe we can ask some questions along the way while we're there. And we went to the LGS, and again, we went to Black Market. Shout out Black Market over in Clarkson, Michigan. We went there. We were grabbing cards, and we were just asking questions like, "Hey, we're super new. We're playing together. It almost ends up in arguments where it's like, I don't know if you're playing that correctly or not. Just say that you are, or just say that you're not, and you can do it next turn." It's not gonna matter next turn because you're just gonna kill it when I do when I do try and do it. And then so it was asking all this, and they go, we're holding a pre-release for Edge of Eternities. You guys should come. Everybody's super helpful that comes to these things, and they'll help you build a deck, and we'll learn how to play, and you'll play people more experienced. They'll be able to teach you some of the rules, and it's snowballed for me ever since. My wife and I has gone to every pre-release since, which I know it isn't saying a whole lot, but the way they keep pumping out sets.
Yep.
We've been to Edge of Eternities. What was right after would have been
Was it Aether Drift or was
No,
it
the Aether Drift was was before.
Outlaws?
No, Outlaws was before too. I want to say it was.
I'm gonna look it up.
I should know this a lot better than
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but there's so many sets coming out. It's hard to keep track.
There
Like-
was. I know it
Edge.
was the Universes Beyond.
It was Avatar.
No, yeah. So it was Edge, Avatar, and then Lorwyn, Turtles, Strixhaven, Marvel,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh,
yeah.
Spooderman.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man was before.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was so it was right after Edge of Eternities.
Final Fantasy, Edge of Eternities, Spider-Man, then Avatar.
Spider-Man, then Avatar.
Spooderman.
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 And then it-
Spooderman.
There was what? So there was what, like 7 sets last year then? Because Dragonstorm was the second, right? Was the second of the year.
Well, there were 7. So it was Innistrad Remastered, Aether Drift, Tarkir, Dragonstorm, Final Fantasy, Edge of Eternities, Spooderman, and Avatar.
Yeah. And then Dragonstorm, that's where I really started. That's when I started even learning really anything. Like I had friends that had mentioned it beforehand, but I was like, oh, I collect Pokemon cards. I don't even play the game there, and there's nothing here for in this Magic the Gathering. He's like, no, dude, and so I had always been like in those circles where it would like be in my peripherals, and then Dragonstorm came out, and everybody was talking about the Dragon Islands, and they were like, oh, they're so dope and this and that. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? And they show it to me. I'm like, those are pretty cool. What is it? And then that was essentially the start of the end.
Yeah.
To the end.
The start of it.
the heavy weight that is my bank account
Yeah, exactly.
and the credit card.
That was the news being wrapped around my wallet.
So being a fairly new player, Mark, do you only play Commander or do you play any other formats? Do you have interest in other formats?
So yeah, my main format is Commander. I've never built another deck besides besides a Commander deck. We've done some draft, whether it be in pre-release. Sometimes especially in the beginning, my wife and I would do some drafting together. And I want to get more into draft now that I kind of have a grasp on it. Standard I can never keep a hold of because I know sets can fall in and out, and cards from the set can stay or go and things like that. And so with that and everything else going on in mine and my wife's life, I just haven't had really any time to really focus and keep track.
There's so much happening with it too.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's like it's very expensive in my opinion, Standard, because you want at least 4 of each card, and depends on the card. You can't get 4 Badgermole Cubs unless you got money, but that's for a Standard set. That's
Or
I
you
guess
allow proxies.
yeah. But
No.
during if you're hanging out with friends, but I don't think the events will let you.
Yeah, the events won't.
No.
What?
I mean, that's what I kind of got back into Magic playing Standard. And I played Standard for probably a good 1.5 to 2 years. And that was my biggest issue with it, was the rotation. But back then, the sets were smaller. I mean, there wasn't as many sets. So, it's different because since there wasn't like a huge change in cards because there wasn't a whole lot of sets being released.
Mhm.
There was just so many decks that just reigned supreme for the longest time. And it was just boring playing against Esper Control or Grixis mid-range till the end of my days. And it was always just a variation of that. Or Big Red, very aggressive red was always playable.
Yep.
But now I think it's like, since there are so many sets, there's so many like minute changes going on. Like right now, Big Green is getting so many additions to it in standard with all these new sets coming out, and it's like, what version of Big Green do you want to play? There's 4 different versions right now, which is like good, but I don't know. I haven't played standard. I've been trying to do more in videos to get info from people who play standard, like Donut Rips, just to get their gauge on standard. And it seems a little bit better than I was playing, but I can't get back into it.
No, sir.
And I don't think a lot of people play it too, so that's what's also
New cameo.
some of the hard part.
Oh, smacking,
Kitty!
smacking my mic for you, little boy.
You
Sorry, he jumped up on my desk and now he's.
no,
Oh,
you're
that way?
good.
You're good. Like I said, we've had several of these. We do it live. That's the whole point.
Well, speaking of Commander, and I know it might be a hard question to ask, so you can do a couple if you want. But what is your favorite Commander?
Well, until the Hobbit comes out, currently my favorite commander is one of actually the first commanders I've ever built, and it's Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness, which it's if you whenever you cast a white spell, every legendary creature you control gets a +1/+1 counter and vigilance until end of turn. And whenever you cast a black spell, every legendary creature you control gets +1/+1 and has menace until end of turn.
Yeah.
So I built the deck essentially as legendary creature tribal, and as I think only 3 or 4 cards in the deck are Orzhov.
Oh wow.
So whenever I'm casting anything, every legendary creature I control gets +2/+2 vigilance and menace until end of turn.
That's sick. That's cool.
That's good deck building right there. It's good deck building. Maximize that value.
Yeah. The mana curve is a little high, so it's very much a mid-range. Like it's gonna take me about 4 or 5 turns to be able to actually get anything worth having on the board. But Ardbert is only turn 3. So as soon as you get Ardbert out, then the fun starts, and then it's my wife just texted me, Bunny is best. I bought her Mrs. Bumbleflower not knowing the war criminal she is.
She looks so innocent.
Yeah, she goes, oh, it's bunnies.
All bunnies. What bracket would you say your deck is then?
I would say it's very high 3.
Okay.
I don't really have any game changers in it. I don't have a lot of graveyard or a lot of hate. It's very just very protective.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of counter spells. There's not a lot of anything. It's just pump every legendary creature you can up until there's until nothing can happen to you, and you just swing for massive.
If you had to pick one color in Magic to be your favorite, what color would it be?
Oh, I'd have to say green.
Interesting.
Just because I think it's the most I play. Like my first deck, and I'm very very polluted this way. My first deck I built was Finn the Fangbearer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Because it was just everything I heard about it. It was very Norse pagan heavy. It was very
Mhm.
it was cheap to be able to build, and it's very just you play a 1/1 death toucher as many times as you can during your turn and just swing.
It has a kind of a win con or alternative win con in it. Poison
Yeah,
counters.
exactly.
All about poison counters. Don't have to get to 21. Don't have to get a 40 health.
Yeah,
10.
exactly. You don't even have to proliferate that much
Exactly.
in it either.
Mhm.
It's oh, did it die? Okay, whatever. I've got 5 more
Yep.
coming,
Yep.
and you'll get to 10. You'll get to 10 soon.
I made a fin deck and my pod just didn't like it, so I just got rid of it and stopped it or disassembled it, which is fine.
Mhm.
It was fun while it lasted.
There's the new one from Marvel. I pulled it too.
Yeah, the serpent.
Serpents.
Yeah, Serpent Society.
Yeah,
And
that looks
I've
so
debated.
cool.
I've debated. I was like, oh, it's just Fen, but I can add Black Death Touchers now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to build the deck out of it. Just I love the ward where you get 5 poison
Yeah.
counters. Target my
Exactly,
stuff.
just-
Target it. Do
yeah.
it.
Take half your life. now,
Exactly.
essentially.
Well, you don't
And then
like
just-
it has Grave Pact attached to it. Basically, whenever one of your Death Touchers die, everybody has to sacrifice a creature. So it's like you have to get rid of it, or your board's just going to go bye bye eventually. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Did you get to open much Call Time? I know it's
Yeah.
it was before you got into Magic.
That was one thing I wanted to ask you too.
So I didn't not. So when the set when it had come out, I wasn't even around.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I've my LGS has had Call Time, every so often. So every time I see it, every now and again I'll go. You know what? I don't want to. I want to get a Call Time, not a Phyrexial will be one this time.
Yep.
I do surprisingly well in Phyrexial will be one.
Oh, it's a great set to open.
I think the third or fourth pack I opened the Phyrexian Art, Elish Norn Mother of Machines,
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
and then I had gotten the English version as well, and I threw that into Don and Leo.
oh, nice.
So it's
Love it.
Call Time is a set that I really, really love.
Mhm.
I wish it was better than it actually turned out being, just because they tried to bring back the snow mechanic and it just didn't really hit very hard. But there's so many cards in art from that set that I am absolutely obsessed with. I love Bergie.
absolutely.
I love Valky. That I don't have a deck to put it in, but my LGS had like the full art showcase Valky Lord of Lies, and I was like, I have to buy that.
Ooh, yeah.
So I bought it for no reason, just because I
I-
wanted it.
Gallon was
I
great.
told my wife I'm not gonna search for it, and I know it's not in. I don't think it came from Call Time, but the serialized Finn the Fangbearer. I told her, I was like, if I ever stumble somehow upon that, and it's only like $600 for a serialized, which isn't bad, especially since like the golden chocobos aren't even serialized, and those are $10,000-$20,000.
Yep.
I told her if I ever stumble upon one in the wild, it's over. It's in our bank account.
It's coming home. It's coming home
It's
with
gonna
me.
be sad.
They didn't have serialized cards for Call Time,
Yeah. That was.
so it was in a different set.
When did they start doing that?
Remastered, Ravnica remastered. I think. I could be wrong.
Caldine was a great set though. I loved it too. I made a Serulf, the big old dog. I loved it because it had a board wipe built into it too. Put a counter whenever a creature or whenever something leaves the battlefield. And at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it and exile all creatures. Exile all permanents with that mana value. It was cool. It was fun. My play group hated it too. So, took that apart.
You know it's a good deck when your play group complains about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it was funny. One of my best friends from up in Oregon came down this past weekend for a wedding, so we went to a little gathering at a brewery put on by a little local collective, and he didn't bring any decks with him, so I brought a couple for him to play. And I was like, "Hey, what's one deck you'd want to play that I have?" And he goes, "Can you bring ninjas?"
Mm-hmm.
It's my Yuriko extra turns deck, and I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And we got to play a game, and he wanted to play it, and he opened his first hand. He just going, what? Like, no. He's like, he goes, now I know why I hate playing this deck, and I was like, you asked to play it, so. But you told me that I can't play against you guys, so you don't ever see it anymore. So
A
he
buddy
got
of
targeted
mine,
pretty.
a buddy of mine at the LGS had actually landed the Jinkataxis from the PlayStation secret lair.
Mhm.
And he had one of our other friends who's really good at building decks and just proxying. Uh, he said, "Here's the secret lair. I want, obviously I want Jinkataxis as the commander, and I want every card in there into the deck. Excuse me, sir. Um, and so he just built the most disgusting Jinkataxis deck. Listen, sir, he loves just
No.
getting onto my desk and grabbing whatever he can.
Well, we
He
got to
he is
introduce now. He has made a second
this
appearance. He needs to be
this
introduced.
this this burnt orange gentleman right here. His name is Sir Preston Von Fuzzy Britches, first of his name.
Sir Preston Von Fuzzy Britches,
Fuzzy
first of
Britches,
his name. I
first of
love
his
it.
name. My wife vetoed Destroyer of Worlds, so we agreed on first of his
Dang.
name.
That was a good name.
Oh man, dang wives always having to ruin the fun.
Yeah. She goes, if I'm gonna have to name him, if I'm gonna have to call him Sir Preston, it's not gonna end in Destroyer of Worlds. I was like,
She
okay,
was
how about
okay with
Destroyer?
Sir Von Britches.
Yeah. So when we had named him, it was with one of our friends she's best friends with. Her name's Pinky. Um, but so and we had just gotten Sir Preston, and we were gonna say just Destroyer of Worlds or Eater of Mice or feared by litter boxes or what have you. And so when we had come up with first of his name, she was like, "No, it's still too short. We need to lengthen that up. We got to pump those numbers up." And she goes, "Sir Preston Von Fuzzy Britches," and it was just like change approved.
Change approved right away. Ding.
Mhm.
I love that.
Along with Magic, if you could meet any celebrity and play Magic with them, who would it be?
Oh, that's a great one. I would have to say personally, Adam Savage. Just
Okay.
I think his take on life, just always in awe of everything, whether it be mechanical or just something that makes somebody happy. Him being so joyful in something that brings other people joy is amazing to me.
He would have a really busted brain when it came to this game
I
too.
think so.
Oh yeah, for sure. As soon as he found one mechanic he wanted to lean into,
Mhm.
he could just he would just find every single card that mentioned it and just destroy.
You dissect it.
Yeah.
He's a
Everything
min
can.
maxer for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that answer. That's a good answer. Myth busted.
Yeah.
Well, along with Magic, you have recently kind of gotten away from just your daily pack opening videos and the typical hand tattoo we get to see basically every day. But you've ventured into some more on-cam content, which we love
Yeah.
seeing. You're currently doing a series on The Hobbit. What about this makes you, or what about The Hobbit makes you so interested and gung ho for this set?
So, like I said before, The Hobbit was really my first peek behind the door. That is anything fantastical and fantasy, and so not just The Hobbit, but the Lord of the Rings and everything Tolkien has has been such a like important step into what essentially who I am.
Mhm.
That when they released it, I knew I was like I know I don't have that many followers, and I'm not some I don't get 25,000 views every time I hit record, but I at least want I can't sleep at night if I can't say that I didn't try
Mhm.
to be an ambassador for this set, because that even if if there's a 0.5% chance that I'm able to get this, my 13-year-old self would kick me to the grave until for not even trying.
Mhm.
Yeah. And how do you think it's going so far? Like, this is the first time I've ever seen you on camera, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it, and how do you think it's going?
uh I think it's going okay. A
Mm-hmm.
lot, obviously, really a lot better than I thought it was going to. um I have a lot of uh anxiety when it comes to this mug, and especially with talking in general. I'm the kind of guy that always likes to just hang in the background. I
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to one or two people here and there, but I'm very much an introvert. um if I'm not if I'm not with either like my wife or my kids out in the wilderness just fishing by ourselves, I'm very like I just want to be at home. I don't like people just I don't like being at the grocery store. My wife, I'll sit in the car and my wife doesn't understand it. It's
I
like, yeah, I
hate it.
went with you to the store. Remember, I was there. She goes, no, you were in the car. That doesn't count. I'm like, no, that counts. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
at home. We were at the store. um,
I was giving you moral support from the parking lot.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I was keeping our seats warm. Um, so venturing off like this, like I am taking this step, it has been very not just rewarding but eye opening for kind of like peeking into that,
Mm-hmm.
letting myself be myself, and almost like not caring it. You know what I mean? Like, this is who I am. This is the space I want to take. And if you don't like it, you obviously have an opposable finger. You can swipe away and never see the likes of me again,
Yep.
and that's cool. But the people that do say, that's actually cool, or no, I didn't know that there was actually supposed to be gnomes in the Hobbit. Um
Yeah, dude. Okay, I do want to talk about that, but I also wanted to give a little. Uh, Man and Spencer just joined, and he said, "Dang, who's this beautiful bearded man y'all interviewing?" Oh no, I'm not inactive. Okay, there we go. But
so
yes, dude, I did not know that, and that is so cool.
yeah, I didn't know that for a while either. And I always thought, I was like, well, why are there two factions of elves?
Mhm.
Why, and then I was doing research on these videos, and it just happened to say, did you know that there was supposed to be gnomes in the Hobbit? I was like, I as soon as I saw the word gnomes, I immediately thought of you.
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
I was like, I was like, we could have had gnome tribal.
Oh, dude,
um.
one day.
So yeah, and then so it was Tolkien had already had everything written out in his head,
Mhm.
and he was gonna put it to paper in the popularity of garden gnomes was really taking off at the same time too, and so he let it taint himself, and he let it taint his mind of what people thought gnomes were going to be in the book,
Hmm.
and he just didn't want to take the gamble.
It's
But
understandable.
and it's funny because I grew up. I don't know if you guys had it either because it was a Canadian show that we just got in Michigan, but it was David the Gnome.
Oh,
We grew. It
Nope.
was a cartoon. It was a cartoon, and
I'm
now
looking
that
up now.
now that I look back on it, that was really like one of my first introductions. It was almost my first introduction to Norse paganism
The
no.
World
because
of David
they
the Gnome,
and his wife. Yeah.
1985 little adventure. Oh my gosh.
And it
Let's see if
was
I can
only
show my
on for I
screen.
think one season. I think they only did 1 or 2 seasons,
Nope, I can't show it.
but it was my Saturday morning. You know.
It's hilarious.
I love it.
I love
Oh my gosh. Oh, gnomes. Maybe they'll come back one day.
Man
Yeah.
and Splinters, don't think I didn't see that terrible dad joke in the chat, and it's been bothering me ever since I read it. He said he had
Well.
no idea there were any.
Man, calm down.
Well, continuing
Oh.
on with The Hobbit and the anticipation for the new set,
Mhm.
what cards and mechanics do you want to see in The Hobbit?
We were talking about this earlier, and I need to bring it back up real quick. But
Yeah,
I mentioned it too in one of my videos. But I really hope that there's going to be a new version of Torbrand, Thane of Redfell. I hope he gets a borderless version, and I hope it's not just like, oh, now he's holding his axe with the other hand like the Secret Lair
Mm.
did. And then I was really hoping, and I didn't know this until Unexpected had mentioned it. I kind of hope that they bring a mass back, like
Of
uh
mass orcs.
a mass orcs, a mass dwarves, a mass elves, what have you, things like that. I kind of hope they bring that back.
It's only for a mass orcs, is it? Right now, that's the only
Right
thing we
now it
have.
is,
That'd be
if I'm
cool if
not
they did it for the
mistaken.
other ones too.
so when you were restarting your computer, I pointed him to Mark Rosewater's preview for the Hobbit set.
Mm-hmm.
So he puts out like a couple things about the set to look out for. So like the first thing is a bunch of dwarf typal cards. So there's going to be a bunch of dwarf typal cards coming. A mechanic from the Lord of the Rings returns with a small change. So he was talking about, I really hope a mass, that's the
Oh.
mechanic that they're talking about, is a mass.
Is a
But a
mass.
mass technically came out, I believe, in War of the Spark or earlier, but it was a zombie army. And then when they got to Lord of the Rings, it was a mass orcs. So it
Okay.
was an orc army.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's what they're talking about. Um, I'm half anticipating it's a change to the ring bearer, the One Ring. Um,
The ring tempts
Yeah.
you.
yeah,
Ring
the ring
tempts
tempts you
you.
mechanic.
And then we
Hmm.
found out too there's gonna be a card with affinity for elves, and I was mentioning that my high perfect Morcant deck is gonna get a nice overhaul,
I.
and my pod is gonna absolutely hate it. They already do.
I think this set's gonna be really good for tribal, no matter what.
Yeah.
Pretty strong
some
tribal.
other some other sneak peeks. We're getting the biggest bear we've ever printed. A mechanic that's a tweak of a faction mechanic that has been brought back in another premiere set.
I don't know
So
faction. What that means by faction mechanic.
so I think they're talking about um
For each what for each creature you control, the
No,
right?
Come on,
I
Nick,
don't.
think of it.
The words aren't wording for me right now. Um, it's going to be similar to a previous mechanic we've seen in Magic before that has been tweaked. So like there's been prowess and flurry are essentially the same thing, but flurry
Or
has different abilities attached to it, but they both
Hmm.
care about uh, instant and sorceries being casted or non-creature spells being casted, whatever it is.
or or like ninjutsu and sneak.
And
How
sneak.
they're
Oh,
kind of the same thing.
there was.
Sneak, it can only be on after defense is declared.
Oh my gosh, there was a new one that I read today that was. Oh, hold on, it was really cool.
There's another one too. It's that they said more sagas that are songs, and that has
Mm-hmm.
me
That's really cool.
that has me interested as well. I want to see where that goes, because
Well, we're for sure.
that's obviously Tom Bombadil is gonna be all over that.
Well, and we're for sure getting the song from the Unexpected Party. Can't forget that. That's gonna be
Yeah.
great. We're getting a new type of counter created by a hackathon group looking to expand red slice of the color pie.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Don't
That
either.
is Mark Rosewater speaking in Rosewater talk. Some cards will have the ability of an enduring story.
Oh, is it bad that I'm looking at spoilers right now?
No, because they haven't really released
No.
any.
Yeah.
A mechanic
They
that's
published a Tauren Mountain King book cover card.
Yeah, they've had that.
Oh,
Had that
okay.
out.
I haven't looked at
The
spoilers
book
then.
cover. Oh, I love the book cover arts.
and a mechanic that's the cross of two different mechanics that premiered in a return set.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's craziness. But it looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And there's another one we were talking about too. The whenever you sacrifice a token, target opponent loses 1 life. And I was telling him that goes so hard in Ephrael Stone Chosen
Hmm.
from Edge of Eternities, where it's whenever you sacrifice a creature or a creature had phased in this turn on attack, target opponent loses half their life rounded up.
Well, that card's going to be so versatile too, because let's say you have a food deck.
Yeah.
Food
Yeah.
is a token. It doesn't say creature token. If you have a treasures deck, it's not just creature based decks. It's
Oh yeah, it's gonna go
anything.
crazy in Eager World Eater.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't need more things for you.
When everything is a food.
Okay. So stepping out a little bit of Magic and going into you and a little bit of the TikTok side. What's one hidden talent your viewers may not know?
So there's a couple of things. I learned a while ago. I know how to play the bass.
Really?
The bass guitar. Yeah, I learned essentially
Mhm.
kind of by myself. My friend, I had two buddies in particular. One played the guitar. One played the drums, and they would just sesh out together. We would chill, and they would just do whatever. And I would just sit there. We would talk, and they would do their thing, and I was like, my buddy Tim, he goes, you should get a bass and you should play bass, and we'll start this rockin' band or whatever.
Hmm.
And so I was like, all right, cool. I went and I talked to my stepdad, who who was who played music as well at the time. He was the lead singer in his own. So he was. This is how like connected to Magic I was without knowing how connected to Magic I was. His band's name was Angelic Renewal
Oh,
from an old Magic card.
yeah.
And so I, obviously I had no idea. But so I went to him and I was like, "Hey, I want to learn to play the bass. I've got I think at the time I had like $200. I was like, I have $200. Can you maybe ask around and let me and see if I can buy a bass and an amp for that much?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I got, my buddy Ronnie, he's got a ton, and just give me the $200." He goes, "Do you care what color it is?" I said, "No, I just care that it has strings and I can learn to play it." And so he takes the money. He comes back the next weekend, and he comes into my room and he brings me this PV 5-string Blood Cherry guitar, bass guitar, and it had a black. It was Blood Cherry red with a black pick guard, and I thought it was the most metal thing in the world. And I was like, I wanted a bass. It's got 5 strings. What basses normally have 4? And he was like, yeah, it's an extra string, so you can go deeper in the resonance. And so that's essentially what I learned on. And me and my buddies would go. We would either be at my house, my buddy Tim's house, or my buddy Dustin's house. We would be at one of each other's house playing music until we either sounded good enough to where people didn't care, or they kicked us out of the house and we just went to the next house.
There you go.
And do you still play?
I don't have anything right now, but it's almost one of those things where it's kind of like riding a bike. Once you know the finger motions, it'll take a minute to get to knock the rust off. But then every now and again you can just feel yourself doing the the first song I learned to play fully was Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. And it's just like three movements and 3 chords, and it's just don't. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And my buddy Tim was like, that's not even a bass guitar that Jack White plays, right? He was like, that's a rhythm guitar, and you're making it work on a bass guitar. What's going on? I'm like, oh. I saw him do this, and then I just figured out it was like so many chords farther down or farther up. I can't remember, and I just made it work.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it's really fun to just be able to even like sitting on a couch, just like when you're just wanting to be a potato, just having a guitar in your hand, just practicing. Is so relaxing. Just having something. I think it's like a fidget. It's almost like a very, very big, very cool fidget toy.
Fun fact: you're not the only person in this podcast right now who was asked to be a bass player for a band. The only problem was I wasn't any good at it, and so I couldn't do it. My buddy played the drums.
We were all trash too.
Well, my buddy played the drums, and his older brother played the guitar, and they're like, "Hey, you can play the bass," and I was like, "Who said I could play the bass?" And like, "We will teach you." And after 2 weeks of practicing every day over the summer at their house, they said, "We can't teach you." So that was the end of Digital Underground.
Oh. Mix, have you ever tried any musical instrument or?
Nope. I tried the guitar. I couldn't figure out, or it was hard for me to like figure out the hand placement on it.
Okay. Yeah.
I still have one. It's in my storage locker. That was one thing I really wanted to get into. I think it'd be fun to make my own music.
Yeah.
But I was never. I didn't take any lessons. I didn't really have anybody to teach me, so it's all good. No instruments.
Yeah. In middle school, I tried. I was able to get into music class, and we tried doing drums. And I tried doing drums, and I couldn't keep the rhythm with the, what do they call them, padiddles. And that's how I found out I have what's it called? Oh, my wife knows. It's called like mirrored muscle something or another. So whenever I'm not really focusing, whatever one hand does, the other one will like softly mimic it.
Mm.
And I don't know if I can roll up the sleeve, but and I don't know if it'll show it, but if I hold my hand in a fist and I can wiggle these fingers, you can watch these tendons ripple over my,
Oh, I can see it.
like if you look at the eyeball right here, you can
Whoa.
watch it.
That's cool.
So it's a weird thing. I didn't realize it. That's how I lost. We went to a fair one time, and this white trash me. I had an Eminem poster that was like no, just like a little 8x11 printout of Eminem that they had found online and printed to make to win a Carney game, and um, I had left it there. I had lost it. Don't know when. Don't know how. Probably waved at some dude and it just floated down to the ground.
Being mirrored muscle movement.
Yeah. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it had like a what is it called? Like a symptom or whatever it's called.
Mm.
Mhm.
And until way later, and my wife was like, "Hey, you do this? You know this is a thing?" I'm like, "What do you mean I do that?" She was like,
I
"No,
had
you
no
know how
idea.
whenever you're the biggest thing is I'll like go reach up into a cabinet or I'll be cleaning something up high. When I had a truck, I would clean the roof of the truck, and so this hand would be like this. The other hand would knock shit up, but would be way back here, just doing the complete opposite, the complete mirrored reaction.
Mm.
It's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I like it.
Never noticed it before. Just your
Never,
hand slowly rising
yeah,
up.
exactly. Because it just happens naturally, and you know what I mean. You're just not focused on it.
Mhm.
Mm.
Well, Mark, transitioning into more of the soft and squishy questions, what is a moment the community support genuinely surprised you?
I know it's said a lot on the podcast here, but it really was when Lonnie had lost his wife to their battle. I was like literally I was fresh in the community and I had just started gaining some traction, and it was the first time anybody had reached out to do any kind of like crossover with Domo and the Jank Miss.
Mhm.
And so that was going on, and I'm like, I was originally going, I don't even know what, because me and my wife have been married for almost 14, but we've been together for almost 19 years. We were high school sweethearts.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It is a long time. Um, but
Longer time for
so
her, I'm sure.
oh, for sure. she she'll do the thing where she's like, "I'm so lucky to have you," and I'm like, "Who, the cat? You talking to me?" And
Me?
yeah, me? No, no, lucky? No. And I was like, "Yeah, I keep your heart rhythm up, I guess." But no. So when that was going on, I was like, "Man, I wouldn't even know how to react if something like that had happened," and um Domo had reached out to everybody who was doing the Jankmas, and he was like, "Hey," because originally the plan was he was gonna, like he did with Jankmas in July,
Mhm.
where everybody put in, and then whoever put in, he was gonna do a wheel spin, and it whoever won would win the whole deck. So it was kind of like you were anteing in to a pot that you might have won.
Yep.
And he had put into the group chat like, "Hey, there's this auction going on to raise money to help support Lonnie," and to see just the instant, oh yeah, duh, what else were we supposed to, what else was going on? We were supposed to win it. Who cares? Just let's let's raise as much as we can to
Mhm.
help Lonnie out. That immediate call to action and just response was jaw dropping. And as an introvert, it's very warming to see somebody just almost, you know what I mean, not just be so selfless.
Be so selfless to a complete stranger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially being fresh in the community too, where you don't know a whole lot of people. You're still getting to know everybody. That was an incredible moment.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when, like, you see the memes of, the person that goes into the bod that reeks of bo, never wants to play with a proxy, and can only be between bracket 3.5 and 4 2/4, and uh and wants to just ruin your day, finds no finds enjoyment in just ruining every single one of your plays,
Hmm.
to having that kind of in my head to uh just everybody without even thought, just going, yeah, I thought, we heard what was going on, we figured that's what we were doing anyway, why isn't it on the auction block yet?
Yeah.
Just that it was very awe-inspiring, to say the
Yeah.
least.
Huge shout out to Domo for making that call and everybody who was a part of it being so supportive in that decision. And big shout out to Lot in Fort Safer Good for, you know, heading that up and making sure all that was possible. So, yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
huge moment for the community. Definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, definitely. There's another one I found out about earlier. I'm so horrible with names. Um
Was it
I don't
after
know
or
if it's
before?
it's recent, so it was after. It was like a couple of months ago, where it's a gentleman who runs a after school program where he has a bunch of magic cards. He helps kids learn to play magic, builds decks, things like that, just and gives away all of his bulk to the program.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know who it is.
I can't remember because I know there's Lone Star who does for veterans.
Hmm.
It kind of down the same path, which is, I believe, a friend of Deceptic.
There's a local middle school that has a magic club that anytime that I run into the professor and there's a pre-release coming up, I make sure he's going and I bring a little box of cards so he can bring them to the kids.
That's nice.
That's really cool.
Getting into more of the squishy questions. What is the best advice you've ever gotten?
The best advice I'd ever gotten, and I know I'm gonna butcher this. It's what's called the 5 whys to resolve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it was broken down to uh always ask yourself why at least 5 times if there's ever a reoccurring problem, and you'll most likely find the solution is well past that reoccurring problem. And it gets broken down to there's a fuse that keeps getting blown. Well, why does the fuse keep getting blown? Because it's drawing too much power. Okay, so why is it drawing too much power, or where is it drawing too much power from? And you go down the line and you see, okay, this motor is running a lot more stiffs and is creating a lot more power, which is creating the fuse to blow. Okay, so now why is that motor dragging so much? Well, the belt on it is tight and it's causing it to drag. Okay, so why is that belt tighter than it's supposed to be? Oh, because they're using a shorter belt that they put on there until they can get the replacement part. And so now a $10 belt has been causing thousands of dollars of headache, that only by that replacing a fuse every day was causing.
So getting down to that root problem of figuring
Yeah,
out
getting
why.
down. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. A lot of people don't think of that. They're thinking of the
The
outside and the what's affecting them the most.
the immediate
Mm-hmm.
problem.
A lot of people are reactive. Just don't look down in deep of what the problem is and what can be fixed about it too. So I like that.
And like you said, the why can be much more simpler and
Mhm.
easier fix than the current problem you're trying to solve in front of you.
Yep,
Yeah, true.
I love it. Love it, man.
Uh, Getting down to the last couple questions here. So, chat, if you are having any questions you want to ask Swagnar, start putting those in the chat, and we'll get to those shortly. But one of the last soft and squishy questions: what or who has been your biggest inspiration in your life?
So one for sure, the highest one for sure was my grandfather. Um, he he taught me a lot, especially about cars. Um,
Mm.
growing up, growing up, he had a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am that he had bought and replaced the motor and transmission himself, and was building it to be almost like an exact replica of the Smokey and the Bandit car. Smokey and the Bandit was his favorite movie. So I would see him every day in his garage working on that car, and he was an older he was in his 80s when he passed just a few years ago. But since he was born, he was born without the real use of his whole left side.
Oh,
Like he could walk and he can move his arm, but it was very limited. He had very limited mobility. But he didn't let him let it stop him.
good.
He worked, and especially on cars, he worked on everything himself. Um, he hated asking for help, but he was always quick to lend a hand. And being able especially at a young age, to sit in that garage with him and just either just listen to him cuss up and down a storm, or because that's all we do in garages is cuss at inanimate objects until it works. Um, uh, whether just listening to him, talking to him, helping him, like just handing him tools or parts or whatever. I remember the first time we were working on my mom's Blazer, and we were replacing her brake calipers, and he tells me to jump in the car and we're to bleed the brakes, and he's like, "This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna pump the gas pedal 3 times, press on it and hold on it, and when you do, tell me holding. I'm gonna loosen this nut. It's gonna drain the brake fluid, and the air out of the brake fluid. We're gonna get all the air out of the brake fluid." So we go through that on one. He goes to the next one, does the same thing, and then he goes towards the back and he goes, "You know what I said about on these calipers? What nut we're loosening, right? And what we're doing for why we're doing it, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, I'm getting in the car. I'm gonna pump the
Mhm.
brakes. You're gonna bleed the backhand." And I'm like, "No, I hand you the wrench. You don't. You know what I mean?
I
I
don't
don't
need
turn the
it.
wrench. Yeah, you don't. I don't turn the wrench. I hand you the wrench." And he goes, "How are you gonna hand me a wrench from a 6 foot hole?" And I said, "Well, I guess you got me there."
Mm.
and and it was always one of those things. And so after that, it became more and more of, "Hey," and then it was even that, "Hey, I need your help with this." And back then, not I didn't know that wasn't he didn't actually need my help. He wanted to teach me to do something, but along the way, he was also opening himself up, because he always hated asking for help. It was always, "No, I got it. I can do it. I, you know, I I can get here and there. I can do this. I can do that." To, "Hey, if I actually need help, who's gonna be there if I keep pushing everybody away?"
Mm.
So him opening himself up and him going, "Hey, I need your help with something. Can you come help me do this?" Meanwhile, I didn't, I have no idea. I'm just so happy that I'm actually going to be able to go and do something working on a car
Yep.
and build that uh joy, you know. Yeah, he taught me a whole lot, and when he passed, it really left a big hole that I didn't know could be filled.
Oh, sorry for your
Sorry.
loss.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
sounds like you had a real special relationship. We had a talk last podcast about grandfathers being special people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seems like you did a lot of work with your grandpa. And had a lot of similar experiences. My grandpa was a auctioneer, so I can't count how many times that he's told me to pack something in a truck a certain way. um have you ever had a moment where, like, it's just like grandpa, giving you the typical spiel, but behind his back it's already done, and he turns around and he's like, oh, and it's just like a really proud grandpa moment. I went fishing with my grandpa later in life when I was like around 22. It was just a grandpa grandson fishing trip, and
Mm.
we were packing up to leave, and as he's loading things into the car, packing things up, he's telling me, I need you to put this in that box and this in this box, and he turns around and everything's packed up already, and he's just like, what? And I was like, grandpa, how many times have I packed a truck with you doing auctions? Like, I know
Yeah.
exactly where you want things and how you want them. And he's just like, well, this is gonna go much easier than I thought.
Oh, grandpas.
Yeah.
Love them.
Oh, I remember. I remember him. Uh. Uh. Luckily, I get the enjoyment of him being. So he told my mom, who later told me, that his favorite thing to do was after I had obviously learned a lot from him working on cars. I don't have a garage where I live at my house, so all my tools and every time I needed to work on my car, or I would go work on my mom's car for her, my sister's car for her. Um, it would always be me in the garage, his garage, working on whatever car. Him sitting in a plastic lawn chair, and we're both listening to music. And he had told my mom that that was his favorite. That's his favorite moment. That was his favorite moments where he
Awesome.
gets to sit. He gets to sit back, relax, and enjoy seeing the person that he helped create,
Mm.
essentially. And just
That's really
knowing
cool.
that uh that brought him joy in the later years, that really helped.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man.
It's amazing.
I'm glad
So
he was able to share that and that you were able to hear that.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So that being said, especially for whoever's listening, don't don't forget to always bring that up. Don't forget to let people know how much they mean to you in your life, because you don't want that moment to slip by, and you don't want them to second guess themselves.
Yeah.
I echo that greatly.
Mhm.
I was very blessed to spend a significant amount of time with my mom before she passed due to complications with cancer, and uh, sacrificing that time to spend it with her uh, is something that I am eternally grateful that I was able to do, and knew that time was coming, and to spend that time. And that's something that I tell people, it's like, you just never know, so
Yeah,
just spend it while you can and make the most out of it. And like you said, make sure those people know how much they mean to you, because that's very important than just spending quality time.
exactly.
Last question before we open up to the chat: what's next for Swagnar? What are, as far as content, what are we looking? Do you have
Mhm.
any exciting plans? What direction are we taking the channel?
So I do have some plans, especially once I get to day 365. Um, especially in the means of going live and doing that a little more consistently.
Hmm.
Um, especially once I get past 365, I really want to be able to go live, especially during set releases, and uh just essentially have like a hangout where I'm opening you open packs from the new set, see what's going on. I want to be able to bring other people on that are doing the same thing, so that way we can you know, one of my favorite things to do is especially is at the LGS, I'll get a few packs and being able to open packs with your friends. I really enjoy that. Like I get I arguably say I get more enjoyment watching a friend hit their chase card out of a pack than hitting my own. Like I just from the Marvel set, I picked up that Thanos, the comic book foil Thanos. Um I picked it up. It's already at the LGS ready for Hobbit to release. um because that's going to be a hit. But being able to hype up other people when they get the card that they want. I really enjoy that. Also, I've had another idea when it comes to especially releasing when sets release. Um, like I said, I really enjoy pre-release doing the pre-release nights with draft, and I kind of want to bring that into a live where like four four people get a pre-release kit from the set and then just hold like a pre-release night
Ah,
on TikTok Live,
Very
where
cool.
you open a pre-release kit, you get a specific time limit to open everything, build, look at what you got, build what you pulled, and then you just get to play the set until and then there's no especially at the LGS, it's like okay, we got enough people to do 4 rounds, and at the end of the 4 rounds, we'll tally up the scores, see who win. But when you're at home and whatever, you can swap players and play each other again, however many times you want until, and then do some feedback. And I think that'll really help. Not just me, but anybody else, especially with building like draft wise, where you can go, hey, now that these games are over, let's talk about what you liked from your deck, what you didn't like from your deck, what now that you've played it a couple times, what do you think you're gonna add differently for the next round, things like that, or you know, what cards do you like that you pulled that you think you're gonna put into a commander, or do you plan to build a commander from anything from this set,
that'll be really fun.
things like that. Yeah,
I think it's good for newer players too,
Hmm.
who may play commander but are nervous going into their LGS and doing like you said, a pre-release where they are timed to make a deck, and then they're timed to play an opponent who is much more knowledgeable about the game than themselves. So to put it in a more
Friendly
in the
environment.
terms of Lodi Reading Run says RE lax environment, so a
yeah,
relaxed environment. Um, it will help them get the skills and the confidence to go take on a pre-release at their own LGS.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Because I know like from experience on like my first couple draft nights or pre-release nights, where you want to ask the question, but you're afraid. Well, what if they're gonna lie to me? What if they're like, well, I don't want to give them this answer. Listen here, sir. Well, he is the most we call him a burnt orange cat because he acts so much like a orange cat, even though he's
Black
a man
Cat.
with short hair. Yeah. Um, but like I was saying, I know I was afraid to even ask, especially with like Edge of Fraternities. It was like, what does warp do? What am I, I pay this and then what happens? Or I've got this, these are all I've got. What colors should I run? Should I run one, two, three? I think my Edge of Eternity's draft night, I did 3 color. I did Jund,
Mhm.
black, red, green, and I was like, oh yeah, these are kind of cool. I had no removal, I had no burn. I think luckily I had just enough lands. Not, I don't think enough for three color. I think I did 20 lands, but half the deck for 3 color. It was not enough. I was
Mhm.
mana screwed the whole night, and I didn't know that you could adjust in between
After,
rounds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Changes a lot.
yeah, it definitely does. So just having things like that where it's like, hey, looking at what you pulled, maybe you should go 2 color. Maybe you can go 3 color. Maybe, hey, you looks like you might need more removal. Think about that, or think about what your mana curve is going to be. When I first started, I knew nothing of I didn't know anything about what a mana curve was.
Yeah.
I just was like, oh yeah, this card is cool, and I'm gonna throw that in here, and yeah, it did not turn out well.
I
Yeah,
think more players need to do this at their pre-releases. I try to do it as much as possible. Before every round, like if I don't know the person, I try to gauge their experience level. And if they're a new player,
mm,
I go, if you have any questions, please let me know. I don't care if it puts me at a disadvantage in the game. I want you to make the right moves. So at any time,
yeah,
if you have a question, let me know. I did a TikTok for the last pre-release where I actually put the guy into a favorable blocking position that almost lost me the game.
Mhm.
So I was just like, no, it's
yeah,
completely fine. Like, this is the information you should know. It
Yeah.
doesn't
yeah,
benefit me
absolutely.
any just to pub stomp someone for their lack of knowledge in the game. And what, oh, I get a benefit of a pack? I don't care about the
Yeah,
pack. I don't
yeah,
care about the
exactly.
pack.
We
Yeah.
we
If
already
you're,
get a pity. We get what's called a pity pack anyway. We already get a pack, so
Hmm.
but if you don't come to the next pre-release because you had such a bad experience, the prize pool is going to be smaller because there's one less person. So I
exactly.
want you to have a good experience. So you come back and make my prize pool bigger so I can win more packs.
Yeah, exactly. And the enjoyment of especially like when a newer player uh figures it out and doesn't have to like ask all the time and go
Hmm.
like when a new player that you're helping out realizes a trigger before they miss the trigger, and it's like, oh wait, I do this, and then this happens. I tap this creature, I get 1 more mana, and because of that, I get actually 3 mana, and it's like, yes, you're getting it. That's awesome. This is
You're doing
amazing.
it.
He's
You're doing
he's learning.
it. And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's heating up.
It's like,
He's
and then
on
it's like,
fire.
my buddies will go, oh, how is he doing? I was like, oh, he wiped the floor with me. It's amazing.
Hmm.
He's awesome. And just I'd rather somebody else that's just well, I mean, I'm just starting out myself, but like if somebody's baby faced, fresh faced, and they're just starting out, I'd get much more enjoyment watching them learn and seeing them win. Not so much like letting them win, but
Mhm.
getting it getting the puzzle pieces together where they go, you know what? If I make these plays and I can hold this much mana up, that way I have removal and I can stop something. I think I can actually take it over this next turn and I can win. And then to watch him execute, or her,
Hmm.
I'm sorry. My brain automatically goes to one, and it's just like that. Um,
Mhm.
but just watching them figure it all out, get all the puzzle pieces together, and then perfectly execute that plan
Yeah.
and pull it off. That it just there's no better feeling as a player.
It's
Like a
beautiful.
proud coach moment. You're doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, chat, do we have any questions for our awesome guest, Swagnar Lothbrook here, aka Mark? Yes, that is something that I feel like is a uh, pitfall for a lot of players in their
Mana.
Mana and Splinter. Mana and Splinters, man. But going to what Fiddle said, removal and interaction is so key, and having the right amount of creatures too. You
Yeah.
need creatures. There's, I had a guy play in my last pre-release, and he's like, "Do you mind looking at my deck?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It just feels like I don't have enough creatures," and I was like, "Well, you're running 6."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like chances are you aren't gonna see them, so we need to
Right.
up that number up. Man in Splinters wants to know if you will have his baby.
Absolutely. I'm carrying it though, right? I get to carry it. That way I have an excuse. I get my pot belly.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go.
Drew has had a fun idea to that pre-release live, so that'd be fun. I'd love to do it too. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love to be part of it.
And you love buying pre-release kits, Kevin.
I sure do. I sure do.
That's how I got the Soulstone from
Really?
Spider-Man. It was in a pre-release kit, yeah.
I guess I need to buy some more pre-release kits. Spider-Man. My chocobo doesn't make birds; it makes scute swarms and batters.
Green sleeves and Scoot Swarm. Ew.
Oh, Mana doesn't want to ruin your body though. Oh, he's not ruining his body.
No, he's not ruining his body.
Mana.
Right. No. I already look pregnant. It's just giving me the excuse.
To think Mana is concerned about ruining someone else's body.
Silly me.
Silly you. Of course, Mana was only concerned about his hot bod.
We have our 2 usual questions. Do you want to ask them, or do you want me to?
I want to say one thing that I caught way earlier in the live, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but someone came in, Alex Ayala, really quick. I wonder if it's the same one I went to middle school and high school with, because if it is, I hate you, but I love you. He said y'all look like different variants of each other from different timelines. All love though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fair. There is a lot of bearded, light complexioned men in this community, so chances are, yes, we look very similar.
And then there's Mana.
Mana looks like Mana's bearded, wears a hat, and is light complexion.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a mold cast, and then everybody outside that we bring in.
The normal question or the usual questions: pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely, it's my favorite pizza. My favorite pizza by far is my wife's in the back. Gross. She hates it.
Yes.
But she's weird. My favorite pizza by far is pepperoni, pineapple, and Mike's Hot Honey. Absolutely. Oh, tear it up every day. I don't care that it gives me acid reflux. I will down a whole bottle of Tums afterwards.
Dude, pizza right now, Kevin, I don't know if you've hit that stage in your life yet, but it's like once you get to about 30, 32 maybe, every time you eat pizza, it's like having Mount Vesuvius erupt in your chest. And it's just like
oh yeah.
Heartburn.
Ever since I turned 32, every time we pass by a McDonald's, my stomach starts to bubble.
Oh.
Just instantly get bubble guts from the side.
Yeah. We pass by and it instantly triggers some kind of PTSD from my stomach.
I
Ooh.
just need a slight glance at those golden arches, and the bubble guts occur.
Exactly. Although, funny enough, and it might be because I used to work at a Taco Bell, but I can have Taco
Uh,
Bell all day, every day, and it not phase me.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. The second question is lasagna, warm or cold?
Warm, always warm, never cold. I will nuke it till the pasta noodles get hard again.
Then that makes it even more impossible to get every layer in a bite.
Makes it
It does.
crunchy.
It does. It makes it crunchy. I will pick it up. So okay, so I'm weird like this.
You
I will
will
break-
nuke it till it comes a disc.
Yeah, I would rather do it that way than keep it cold. But so with Kit Kats, I will break the Kit Kats apart individually, and then I will delayer every single layer of the Kit Kat and
Oh
eat
man.
every single individual wafer.
Do you eat your burger layer by layer?
Oh no, I'll
Don't compare a Kit Kat to a burger, okay?
yeah, that's
Okay.
All right, so we take 2 L's here today. All right,
Yep.
fine.
And Fiddle in the chat goes with pineapple too, just so you're aware. But Mana's got your side with the cold lasagna. Mana,
You
do
know he
you
does.
cook the
He's the only one who
lasagna
loves me.
and then eat it when it's cold?
No, nobody does that,
That's
Kevin.
what Nick does.
Again,
no.
no.
He
the
heats
fact
it
that
up, he
you
cooks
thought-
it in the
no,
oven, and then just sets it out, puts it back in the fridge,
fact
and then
that
eats
you
it cold.
assumed that I did that is absolutely insane.
So my wife will make 2 lasagnas. One for that night and then one for later on.
Yep.
But we never well, I never. She'll eat it cold. She's a troglodyte like that.
I might
It's
sneak
not-
a bite before I put it in the microwave because I'm hungry, and then I'll heat it up.
See, if the
Okay,
lasagna
so-
is big enough, it won't microwave all the way
Exactly.
sometimes. So I will eat around until it gets cold and then put it back in the microwave.
You see that cat
No,
fight in the
see-
background?
Hey. Hey. Stop. That's my older. We have 3 American Shorthair black cats. One is my wife's. His name is Hunter. He's the good boy. He's not in the battle for the And then one is the oldest. His name is Jackson.
They're just fighting. They're just tussling.
Well,
Let's figure out their problems.
so Sir Preston, he's the youngest one. So he's very we've only had him for a little while now. And it's very him just trying to get his place in the house. Trying to
Fighting
figure
up
out
the
where
food
he
chain.
is. Yeah. But so the oldest one, Jackson, he is blind in one eye. And so
Ah.
he's very skittish. So when it's like they're playing, okay.
Like that?
So even when they're playing, it startles him, and then it becomes more than just playing.
Oh.
Got it. So going back to this lasagna topic, I feel like we have to put this disclaimer out there. Okay, Kevin for the longest time thought that I was cooking my lasagna and then putting it in the fridge and waiting for it to be cool. No, Mana and Splinters said it right in the comments. You cook it originally, but then after it goes into the fridge, it's cold from then on. And the reason is because you get every layer in each bite. But the reason why this whole became a topic was because we got on the topic about pineapple on pizza, and then Not So Treasonous Ogre said he preferred cold pizza over warm pizza. And I said, that's not right. Like, warm pizza's always better, not cold pizza. Cold pizza has a little bit something to it, but not that. Did we lose Swagnar? I think we
Oh,
lost
I thought
Swag.
he was just smiling.
No, I think we lost him.
Well, he got tired of your explanation.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Nobody wants to hear me.
No.
It's okay.
Fiddle doesn't even like lasagna. Said never, no lasagna. Yuck. Oh, there we
he's
go.
back.
Back. Okay, sorry about that.
Now
Oh, you're good.
Cats ran into
So-
the router.
So the conversation came up because Not So Treasonous Ogre said cold pizza is better than warm pizza. And I said, no, that's not right.
No.
There's something to cold pizza. Yes, I will always eat cold pizza. There's something to it, but it's never better. And he goes, well, casseroles are always better cold too, because like they sit and the flavors marry a little bit better. And I said, well, what about lasagna? Do you like cold lasagna? And he said, no, absolutely not. And I was like, that's a pizza casserole. You would absolutely prefer it cold if you prefer those two things cold. So from then on, it's just been a staple question on the podcast because it was just ridiculous.
Pepperoni in lasagna would go hard.
Ooh, it
Sounds
would.
really good.
I love crumbled up Italian sausage.
Lasagna.
Okay, Bakersfield white trash. We don't need to bring up ranch on lasagna.
Oh,
What is that?
So, my wife says I have a visceral reaction to all things white. So I dislike mayonnaise. I dislike ranch, like both with a passion. I will not. Sour cream. I'm the same way. I'll mess with like cream cheese if it's in something. My wife can just eat cream cheese, or what's the other one? Cottage cheese.
Yeah.
My wife will eat cottage cheese with pepper, just out of the tub, and I can't.
That's crazy.
My grandmother was the same way. She would get cottage cheese, put salt and pepper in it, and use it as like a dip for tomatoes.
Wow. They were bold back then.
Yeah.
I might riot over this chat, guys. This chat. Yeah, I'm gonna riot. Ranch on spaghetti? No. Pineapple in spaghetti? No. Like, what are we doing, guys? No.
Fiddle doesn't even like cold pizza. You can only eat pizza the day you get it. Leftover pizza does in the trash.
No, so Pizza Hut. I will eat pan pizza from Pizza Hut the next day. I will microwave it and eat it hot.
Mm-hmm.
It does something to the crust the next day. It just makes it so much better.
No, really? Yeah, you can. Oh, Fiddle's the one who said he had pineapple to spaghetti.
Yes, I know.
I thought that was manna.
No. Fiddle came in on top with pineapple on spaghetti.
Fiddle? Okay.
I don't.
You lost
I would
me
try
there.
hot honey on spaghetti, honestly. But that's that. I don't know. Pineapple.
I just can't do cooked fruit. I can't do cooked fruit. It
But if you put it in spaghetti, it's technically not cooked.
Why wouldn't you cook the spaghetti? Why wouldn't you cook it?
You cook the spaghetti, but you don't cook them. Oh, but if you just put the pineapple after.
Because then it's just warm pineapple.
It's not cooked.
Because
yeah,
but it's that weird, like, you had that Dole pineapple thing in your lunchbox all day, and it got absolutely nuked in the sun in your field trip, and you're so hungry that you have to eat it. It's basically cooked.
I don't even know if I would try it.
Or the mandarin orange cup.
Yeah.
It was mandarin oranges are almost better hot than cold.
Mana's from California, so they're fighting about fighting now.
No, because he claims that he went to one spot in Ventura and had coleslaw, and there was pineapple in his coleslaw, and it was the worst thing in the world. And he says that is something that Ventura people do, is put pineapple in coleslaw. And I lived in Ventura my whole life, and I've never had it. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, he said 3 places. 3
places? No. You're lying. Not no.
Fiddle, it's good. I guess it did come from a prego craving. But your middle child is allergic to pineapple.
So it's been 25 years since I've had spaghetti.
Pineapple? That's crazy.
I think you're due now. I think, the safety precautions of, not having that around your kid and making that mistake. I think you can give yourself a little bit of, hey, don't touch this. There's pineapple in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to make you. I'll make you. I was going to say, don't make me hop on a bus to get back at out to Bakersfield, but Bakersfield's probably like 20 degrees hotter than it is Ventura right now. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there.
Bakersfield was like out by the desert area, right?
Yeah, it is middle of nowhere. It's dry, flat, and has a bunch of farmlands. 105, yeah. I don't want to go there.
Man, as a farmer.
That's exactly where I want to be. I love the heat.
Ew. My room is just like absolutely baking right now. It's the hottest room in the house. Hate it.
Mine is the exact opposite. My wife loves. It's funny because my wife and my all the women in my family, their bedrooms have to be essentially meat lockers for them to get a wink of sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's usually not the case. It's usually always way too warm.
Yeah, and I think with my wife, it's a survival tactic because I am a hot box and my daughter is too. So I can sleep in the cold like this with no blankets or anything and just radiate heat. And so I think if we didn't have it so cold, she would be a sweaty mess by morning.
I have to. I don't know why. I'd have to fall asleep to my fan has to be on, kind of for me to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will not fall asleep unless my body temperature is cold. I sleep with most nights with no blankets, just sprawled out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. I watched you sleep a couple times.
Well, do we have any last questions for Swagnar before we go? I've got an early morning tomorrow, so I need to kind of head out pretty soon here. But do we have any last questions?
We need to plan a deep sea fishing trip. Can I go? I'll fly out. I want to go.
I'd be down, man. In Flinders. You just can't let me drink a 30 rack before we get on the boat.
Ooh.
Yeah, you gotta do it on the boat.
Well, my dad and my brother took me deep sea fishing like for my 21st birthday. It was like actually like more closer to my 22nd, and it was like the first trip I was able to like legally drink on. So we day drink down in San Diego all day, and we're getting on the boat late at night. It's leaving first thing in the morning, so we're sleeping on the boat, and so we're just sitting at the dock waiting for the boat to be ready with a 30 rack. And I didn't know that my brother and my dad were just letting me drink the beers.
Oh.
They were acting like they were drinking them. And so I got onto
you everything.
Yes. So I got onto the boat just completely inebriated out of my mind and fell asleep on the boat and woke up to the boat a rockin', and I went a chummin'. And my dad comes up because one of the crewmen told him that I was throwing up, and he grabs a beer and puts it in my hand, and he goes, "Drink it, go back to sleep, and get up." And unfortunately, I wasn't able to power through that violent of a hangover that day. So I got on the line at the very last troll of the day, and the hook slipped off the line. So I don't have a very good record deep sea fishing.
I've never been deep sea fishing. We've gone, so we've fished. I guess I don't know if you can consider it deep sea fishing or what have you, because you're not using the same rigs. But we'd fish off of Lake Michigan or Lake Superior, or off the coast of Lake Erie into Canada, and that's a whole different fish you're catching.
I don't want to point out any major flaws in that, but I mean those are lakes, not a sea. So they're pretty deep lakes, but
still pretty deep.
Technically not a sea,
Right.
so still lake fishing. But you get That's some
and
of the
even though
better
it's deep,
fishing
it's
out
still
there,
not
though.
the same. It's still not the same rigs. Because deep shoe fishing, it's the more hardcore rigs, right? Like you're
Yeah,
doing
the
100-pound
Yeah.
test and
cranking.
yeah, crank. You have to have like a harness on while you're
No, they're
pulling.
usually in the thing. You don't the harness are for the hardos that want to be
Mana will
attached
hold
to the
him.
Hmm.
Mana will hold him back.
Mana will be my harness.
Man, Mana just wants to hang out with you. Or do you want to do pier fishing and play Magic and stream? But we hang. That's all I want to do.
Buddy, you know where I'm at.
Or we can talk
You know
about
where I'm
cranking
at.
on live. Yeah.
What do you guys have on your piers? Because on ours we have walleye.
What?
Perch.
Perch.
Perch is
Okay.
like probably
The
like the
big.
main thing we're catching. You go out to the. I mean, you can probably get some. There's like calico bass out here that are really cool looking. Um, there's things called stripers. I don't know what they're actually called. I just know from my boss mentioning it all the time. It's like you get the nice, good
Oh yeah,
enough rig, you
those
can
are
go to the
different.
beach and you can get some good stripers out there.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at Fat. Jesus, Chad's here. Stripers are a bass breed.
Ah, coming in with the fish knowledge.
I know. Here to talk about fishing. Now he's in.
The angler, master angler.
We're talking about fishing. We are. And we got
see
salmon.
monsters.
Well, I got a bunch of trout. Mainly trout.
I love trout fishing. They're
Yeah.
good to eat too.
They are. We whenever we mainly go out, especially with the kids, there's one spot where you can drop your line with a maggot and you'll pick up bluegill and pumpkin seed all day every time. And most of them are good size and they're called panfish for a reason and they're good.
Mm-hmm. Don't eat deboning, just throw them in the pan, right?
Yeah, pretty much. whenever we go out towards like Erie near Canada, we'll get a lot of uh perch and walleye, and walleye's really good. We caught some pike, but I don't think it was out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Pike is surprisingly tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad's going out for cats on Saturday night.
Catfish.
Chad,
Catfish.
you going on your kayak?
Fresh cat.
I have a kayak and I've only kind of been on it. I've been on it twice. It's just awkward. It's cool, but awkward.
And Chad, don't be losing any more gardening necessities to spiders out there.
Yeah.
No, sir. Yeah, take it that way.
Wait for hours. Oh golly. Okay, you and I both have early mornings. I have work. You got breakfast. Good old breakfast in the morning.
I've got to go to work too. I got to be up at 6.
Oh.
It's just after midnight for me.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get you to bed. Well, thank you again so much, Mark, aka Swagnar Lothbrook. You've been someone who we've been following for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
We're really stoked to be seeing you doing on-camera content, and we're glad that you chose to come on as a guest here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you both for having me. This has been so fun, and it's very helpful. Keep getting me more out of my comfort zone and a lot more comfortable with showing this ugly mug. So thank you both so much for having me.
No.
Well, like you've seen in the chat, it's people think the opposite. So
thank you guys both again.
Thank you. Thank you, chat, for being here and hanging out with us during this lovely adventure, learning more about Swagnar/Mark. This podcast, like I said, like we talked about before, it's all about introducing you guys, TikTok creators, and learning more about your guys' backstories and everything behind you guys that we don't see behind the camera. And hopefully it also helps creators like Mark and other people who aren't as very comfortable making videos with their face, that they can get on here and see how easy it is. So thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
One last announcement.
Oh, yes.
Last announcement.
Oh.
We will be talking the next couple days, but Kevin and I will be switching the day of the podcast to Sunday. So we will come back with more affirmative times. It works better for Kevin's schedule, and I think it's going to work a little bit better for viewers to be able to catch the actual live instead of going to go find the recorded. So we will see you guys next week on a different day, but hopefully you guys are able to join us still next week on Sunday.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.